All right, so all the devices are connected. I don't think that, we're gonna have any button prompt issues like earlier today. But then I forget to actually include us on the scene here. You know what? Seeing as that we're not using this anymore, let's join our. I'm gonna call y'all guys back on the other one. That way I don't have to switch shit in OBS.
Okay.
All right, now let's see it. Yep, that fixed it. Hooray, that fixed it. Hi, welcome everybody to another episode of Tech Talk Thursdays for Thursday, March 21st, 2024. Of course, I am one of your hosts, Marcus Major Linux Summers. I'm joined this week and every week by it's your boy Kev in the building.
What's good, everybody?
I tried to time it with the finger guns. And joining this time after having finally met him in person, I touched him. Touched him.
It's true. Touching happened.
It did.
Oh, he touched me.
And now, because I've done that, he has to flee next week. Sinziak is in the building.
Greetings and salutations.
That's right, Merge. I got to touch Sin. It was every bit as magical and amazing as I thought it was going to be, and more.
Yes.
I supped with Sin.
And Anka.
I mean, that's
in
old
the
news at
same
this point.
day.
In cosplay, no less.
That's old news for me. Anka's always just there. Late, but she's there. Sin. I will read you what I had to write somebody else
Shit,
when I had to.
Oh my God.
When I had to go to meet Sin. Let's see, where did it go? So I told the person who's running the booth. So last week was a playthrough convention over at Raleigh Convention Center. I texted the guy who was helping me run the booth, but who's also volunteering for the convention. Said, "Hey, what time did you shift over?" He tells me that, and I said, "Like, did I need a bathroom break or something?" I said, "No, wanted to chill with a friend for a bit. I begged him to leave his apartment."
It's true. And to be clear about the begging me to leave, yo, I'm just a hermit, okay? That's how that works. And Major was just like, hey, I want to be in the area. I would like to see your face. We have been dancing around this mulberry bush far too long. Let us finally put an end to this and have this long-awaited fated meeting that was supposed to happen at least 2 discs ago in this 3-part RPG. So, we did the things. We went outside.
And I told him, I said, look, now that it's happened, I'm not gonna do this again. Like, look, I got you out. That's all I needed. If we don't ever meet in person again, which I hope isn't the case, but if we don't, I'm cool with that. I just wanted to meet Sin in person. Eventually, we'll either get Kev up here or I'll go down there where Kev is and meet Kev. But it did make sense. Like, Sin is so close to me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go collect Kev's autograph tomorrow.
Okay. Love to see it.
Nani?
It's like nobody told me.
No, like for reasons, Kev, I'm gonna be in your state tomorrow. So I mean, if you want to give Major a photograph or send him a message or something like that, this would be a good time.
Unless you're gonna be in my express, nigga. Sure.
Jeff is just like, things I was not prepared to hear today, but sure, we out here, I guess.
sitting over like, look,
On the-
cars exist.
On a list of things I love for me is this whole moment. So yep.
Look, cars exist. I can be where you at. But yeah, it was really good. Yeah, we all kind of met, did a little seeing from my table a little bit. I'm not sure if Anka did a bit of shopping or she was just looking at the ninja stall.
Anka absolutely walked over to the Destiny table and got like a couple of things.
Oh, okay.
Because it was right next to the booth that you were in.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure she had bought it or not. Although she had left her cell phone on the table or like on my table. I'm like, Anka, you sure about that?
You sure about?
But then, we collected our things and we walked to the Jimmy John's and had delicious Jimmy John sandwiches.
We had a very fun
Or
time
not,
at Jimmy
not
John's.
well,
We
not
went to Jimmy
sandwiches,
John's.
but wraps, because they had claimed all the bread.
So
Wow.
we walked into Jimmy John's and they said, hey, so we know that we're a sandwich shop, but we got nothing for you today because we got a large catering order. And that large catering order means all that bread you see over here on the shelf, we need all of it. We can't spare any. Then they said, well, what do you want? And then they said, oh, we don't have like enough meat or things for any of that stuff. We might be able to make y'all this. It was like going to a Jamaican store, except that people were nice.
We don't have that. We don't have that.
And then Anka, being Anka, the goat that she is, meeting Red Hatters and college alums that were part of the same student organization.
Mm-hmm.
And into like, oh, are y'all a bunch of Red Hatters? Oh my God! And so
No,
started
it was
talking to
like,
people.
wait, aren't you a Red? She said like, because the cosplayer who was cosplaying as Tifa was like, oh, you're a Red Hatter. I'm sitting here with saying like, you know what? I should just shout out that I'm Red Hatter. I also used to be a Red Hatter, right? But I'm not gonna do that. I wasn't gonna like blow
Major
up
was
her
wearing
spot.
a red hat. Major was wearing a shirt with a Red Hat logo on it.
Nobody noticed. Nobody noticed. But Aka was like, as I'm whispering this to Sin, I was like, oh, but Major, he was a Red Hatter too. Like, damn. Hi, hello.
Mm-hmm.
So, Kevin, allow me to tell you that I had a weekend in which I was the only person in the room with no clout whatsoever. I just had like
not
a
understand what you're talking
ATM card and a dream.
Do not understand
And
what
yet-
you're talking about.
And yet,
I have no idea what you're
And
talking about.
yet,
No idea.
and yet,
No idea.
and yet.
I have no idea.
every time. And also,
I'm just a
this
nice,
show is
friendly
brought
guy.
to you. This show is brought to you by International Flights because I had a work trip that returned today.
Whew. Are
So-
your arms tired?
I see what you did there, but no. I came home, picked up a whole bunch of stuff from the mailbox, took a shower, and now we are here. Like, we came all the way back from Canada not to miss an episode. This week, a week or two from now, there will be missing person shenanigans, but not this week.
Is it me or I don't really consider Canada international. I mean, yes, it is a whole ass other country.
Major, I almost didn't make it back here, so it's international. I had to have a passport to leave. And when I say I didn't make it back, story time, right? I'm sitting here at customs, and when I'm coming into Canada, they're just like, you know, what are you here for? Why are you here? How long are you here? Where are you from? When are you going back? And then the person asked, are you doing anything that is going to take money out of the Canadian economy? And if the answer is yes, we're going to have a problem. I have never been asked a more terrifying question in my life. Keep in mind, I
how
am
do you
wearing a
answer
whole
that?
I'm wearing the heavy duty mask that I wear at airports, so I look like a cyberpunk character. And because I was trying to be comfortable, I was wearing all black at the airport with this ball cap. It was a wrap. I was just like, I'm not gonna make it back.
How do you answer that question?
I said whichever answer is not a problem is the one that you should check on that box. Thanks.
I feel like that's an arrest.
I work for a company that has a headquarter office in Canada but live in the United States. How am I supposed to answer that question? Like, I am an analyst that's here for like a quarterly meeting. I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you about this.
Spent a few years as a government analyst.
It was a fun time though. We made jokes about it for the rest of the week.
How would you take? I guess if you sold something.
Like, am I here to rob people? Like, what kind of question is this? I really want to know.
Yeah, I don't. That's a tough one. That is a tough one. Anywho, I know of a lot of people who are trying to take things out of the economy because they think it's good or they want us to believe it's good, but it's definitely not.
I mean, it's kind of like this is like, are you here to take from normal people? I don't operate in that tax bracket.
Uber and Lyft are trying to take jobs out of the Minneapolis economy.
Is that where we're starting this week?
Yeah, that is literally the first one. The DOJ is trying to take TikTok out of somebody's economy. Because is it China? I don't know. Do I care? Not really. And I guess we finally have the answer. We finally have the article that matches Sin's Twitch story from last week. So we're going to talk about it again. This is... Damn, what is it? Oh yeah, Tech Talk Thursday. So let's get into it.
Complete with snacks, because the snacks that I tried to order before the show got mangled and mushed, and now they have arrived after the show has started. So we are here now.
Huzzah.
Hooray.
Actually, you know what I should do? I should probably do something that might be a little bit less messy. Give me but a moment. Well, actually... You don't have to give me a moment. Y'all can actually start talking about things. I will be back in just a moment.
Alrighty. So let's go ahead and start off this week with Uber and Lyft leaving Minneapolis because the Minneapolis City Council said, "Hey, you're gonna pay our citizens a fair wage if they're working for you." And Uber and Lyft said, "Oh no, it's gonna cost the consumers too much, and because of that, we gotta leave."
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, I don't know. I feel like the one thing a company wants to do is make money, and I don't know how you make money if you aren't there to make the money.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think I feel like they want to make money, but the problem is. It's not that they want to make money, because that would be reasonable. It's not they want to make money more money than is reasonable.
All the money.
I don't know. It's giving hell divers. We couldn't just take some of the things. We had to take all of the things. And now we're here.
So Minneapolis City Council had voted last week to guarantee rideshare drivers fair pay. It's aiming to pay a minimum of $1.40 per mile and 51 cents per minute while driving a rider. The measure was vetoed by the mayor, only to be overturned by the city council. The ordinance will be going into effect, on May 1st. However, this may not mean much. Both Uber and Lyft announced they are leaving the city in response to the ordinance. Josh Gold, Uber spokesperson, says it's, quote, disappointed the council chose to ignore the data and kick Uber out of the Twin Cities, end quote. He goes on to say that this will put 10,000 drivers out of work.
I'm gonna let you get to the end of that article before I say anything.
Okay. Minneapolis City Council member Jamal Osman believes this. I'm sorry, because I actually had. This is rare. Well, not rare, but I apparently had something personal to say before this. These are deeply ludicrous statements from a that should be from a giant from giant corporations that can afford to pay its drivers more. It doesn't make sense that they cannot manage to keep costs down for consumers while also paying a living wage to people who make the app work. Also feel like leaving a city would cost you more because something is more than nothing. Minneapolis City Council member Jamal Osman believes the same. He stated that the quote vote show Uber, Lyft, and the mayor that the Minneapolis City Council will not allow the East African community or any community to be exploited for cheap labor. End quote. Moves like this from companies like Uber and Lyft show how they value profits over people. Not only are they just removing ride-sharing services from Minneapolis, they are also removing these services from those who use them for accessibility needs. We really need to end capitalism before it ends us.
That part.
So yeah, it's the thing of these companies have enough to sit there
the stuff in
and
California?
no,
Where they had the same problem back and forth with Lyft and Uber because they were just like, you need to pay your drivers more money. And I think at the time it was, you need to consider them full-time employees and not contractors. And they were trying to fight to not have to do that. So
okay,
that
I
they
remember
didn't have to
that
insure
conversation.
people.
I remember that conversation, but not with who they were having it with. I know we
Yeah, that was
covered
like-
New York's thing where they still are independent contractors, but I think New York did pass that ordinance, but miraculously Uber and Lyft didn't leave that place.
They were also dealing with that same thing over in California, and it was the same kind of thing. But you want to know what? I feel like for y'all to understand the context of my rage, it is 2024. We need to go back about 8 to 10 years. Do y'all remember when all of these cities were in an uproar because Lyft and Uber were pricing things really low at the time in really large cities that already had established and credentialed cab services and taxi services, and they drove these places out of business only to then do this nonsense?
Oh yeah, I remember that.
This is why in particular that annoys me, because they're just like, I can't, like, what are you going to do if these things leave? And it's kind of like, well, maybe invest in better transit infrastructure and services and things like that, like y'all should have in the first place, instead of hoping that these people would be the magic bullet so that you didn't have to invest in the cities that you live in. Maybe any of that. Maybe any of that. The fact that I live somewhere in the United States and I am actually shocked that there is a decent transit system is upsetting.
Yes.
And to a point that you mentioned, I really feel bad here because the people who are going to suffer the most are disabled people who
Yes.
are going to have to deal with, how do I go directly from one place to another? Because sometimes trying to take a bus and then having to take that bus like 1 or 2 blocks to a place, or having to be there at a certain time when I might, for example, have mobility issues, is a problem.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, you could just invest in the cities that you live in. You are the mayor here. You are the city council here.
Mm-hmm. Instead of holding, million and billion dollar corporations accountable, why not just invest in the infrastructure that it would take for you to be able
I would say we should also hold those companies accountable too. But I do understand what you're getting at.
Yeah, I'd say, Major, we can walk a true bubble gum at the same time.
Okay, yeah,
do both.
Just want to make sure. Look, let's keep them accountable. Let's not forget.
Oh, see,
Right.
I know that. The chat knows that. Sin, and you know that. But I'm also saying specifically concur with the city. Yes, city do better. Corporations do better. Everybody do better.
Well, I know that the mayor and so the source article I was pulling this from, they had said that the mayor, well, here I mentioned the mayor vetoed this city ordinance, but the governor also apparently blocked a bill or vetoed a bill that was introduced that would have made this change statewide. And you know what party?
And their stated reason for it was?
The party affiliation. Okay, I'm glad that a stream is going, but I'll tell you, the Twitch video is not live on this in this browser. That was weird. What's going on, Ruin?
Hello, Bean.
There we go.
Hello.
But yeah, it's a constant state of having to be irritated about these things, and me personally, I feel is a sentiment that everybody here shares.
Yeah.
To Kevin's point, which is holding these corporations accountable, sure, but honestly speaking, I would appreciate it far more if we just would be like, you know something, if y'all are gonna act up, we're gonna build infrastructure so that we don't need you.
But also, let's not discount. So I don't know what Minneapolis's transit system looks like, because I don't think that this is necessarily that. I think this is fair pay for those workers. Because for all we know, Minneapolis could also just have a top-notch transit system.
I mean, maybe, but here's the thing, right? It was like, oh, you're gonna put 10,000 people out of work, and I'm like, y'all don't have enough. Like, if you had enough of a need for 10,000 extra drivers, surely you have places in your transit infrastructure to put 10,000 people.
I mean, but as a Uber driver in a city, what you said has decent transit. Some of us are doing that because we don't have anything else to do. Or not, or anything else to do as in, hey, nobody is hiring, so we became Uber drivers.
I mean, fair, and I think that's kind of the point. If these people are here because they don't have things to do, but you have enough of a need that there are 10,000 Uber drivers, I feel like y'all could do something for these 10,000 drivers. That's the point that I'm making.
So again, then that brings us to a point where, do we start having the talk about socialism? Because that sounds like a very socialist thing to do. Have the state provide the jobs for the people who do not have the jobs.
Well, I mean, there's also just like, do they not have taxi companies that these people can work for? But I mean, if that ends up being like a state-funded thing, then sure. Because I feel like if you're going to have a state that you're the mayor of the city council of, and your job is to make sure that people are taken care of over here, and people need to go from one place to another, and you don't have everything built where the entire city is completely and fully walkable, then maybe.
So the mayor of Minneapolis is Republican, so I doubt he's putting federal fund or he's putting any funds towards municipal anything. Like, oh, we got to pay for it. No, it's okay. We'll privatize it.
Then we don't have to worry about it being like top-notch transit then.
Yeah. So like again, it's a thing where it's like, I see what you're saying about the city making transit better, but I'm looking at, and I guess I'm coming at this as someone who is an Uber driver who would like to be paid fairly, who now will be put out of a job because the company, the corporation that could do it isn't doing it. And it's like, sure, we can look at public transit, we can look at the taxi system, especially the taxi system, which would be privatized, and they not having the funds to hire me to do the job.
And that question that seems kind of circular at that point,
right?
Because the reason that these companies don't have the money that they could have is because Uber is here. And now Uber's here, and the city's just like, well, we made a decision that's going to cost 10,000 people jobs. And I'm like, if you're making these decisions, and this is where I'm coming from with this, right? It's not an ideology thing as much as if y'all are making decisions that are going to have this level of impact on people, then you need to think about how you're going to like handle that problem that it causes.
But wouldn't that justify having the companies holding a city hostage? Like, hey, if unless you don't meet the corporation demands, we'll leave. Because then who owns who? I feel like that in a way that's not holding the company accountable, because it's like, hey, if we have to pay people fair, let's like come and say, all right, cool. You want us to pay them fairly? Fine, then we'll just leave. So then that makes the city council say, well, I don't know now. See, now you have our hands tied. Because man, I sure don't want to cost 10,000 jobs, and it doesn't seem like I can see if it costs them $10,000 because Uber could not pay it, Lyft could not pay it. It's costing $10,000 because Uber and Lyft don't want to pay it. So I feel like that's not on the city. That's on Uber and Lyft.
Well, I mean, as far as accountability goes, if you want to know what my thoughts are on that, it's a combination of one of two things. Either A, they need to pay people fairly, which no one can force them to do, obviously, because they just went, I guess we're just not going to operate here. Or B, and my personal favorite would be, fine. Then every single city that can possibly do this push pressure on you to do the same thing. And when you decide that you're not going to pay anybody fairly, your business either dries up or you figure some shit out and pay people.
And that makes it, and that makes sense, because again, like I point out, New York has done it. They have not left New York.
So I'm just like, if the idea of like, hey, we should hold account and make them pay people fairly, I'm just like, hey, if you don't pay people fairly, then you shouldn't exist. The end.
Right.
The other part is, however, if there are people with the ability to make decisions about like what they're going to do, and they're just like, well, the company goes, I don't know, this is just a personal responsibility thing, in my opinion. If I were working on the city council, it would be like, okay, so what are we going to do for these people if we make this decision and Uber leaves? What are we going to do for them? Obviously, not the way most politicians think, given the current landscape, but that's how I think about these things.
So I'm wondering if we're at a point where, if that was a decision you had to, if that's a decision that somebody has to make, do they not make that decision because it would cost 10,000 jobs, or would you stand 10 toes down and say, hey, no, we should actually pay these people fairly? Because I feel like, because I mean, that's
always the latter option. Like, the first option isn't even a thing. It'll be like, oh, we told you pay people fairly, and you said you were going to leave? Bet. Hold on. Side meeting real quick. This is what they said they were going to do. So what's the backup plan when they do that? And I said when, because we're still going to tell them they need to pay people fairly. So what are you going to do when they leave? Figure out whatever plan that is, and then go. Either pay people fairly or you can go. We're going to take care of these people either way, because that is what they elected us for.
Okay.
Hold on, let me say that into the microphone. That's what they were elected for. And as far as which political ideology that falls under, it's one of those, whichever one applies. I have no idea.
Republicans will say that's a communist idea. Democrats will like, we have no idea.
Mm-hmm. We'll get back to you on that.
Yeah.
Like that's sitting here looking at this and being like, having no ideas is why y'all are going to be like in the trenches come November this year. But let me mind my business about that. You know what's good?
Not even November, the summer.
You want to know what's good though? This teriyaki chicken I'm having, and whatever the next topic is, unless y'all want to keep talking about this.
No, I think we covered that.
Okay.
Well, let's see. Merge does say, It sure would have been nice if states and municipalities recognized that maybe, just maybe, the cost to become a licensed cab driver was prohibitively expensive or difficult, and maybe if they addressed that, then Uber wouldn't be a
Thank
problem.
you. Thank you.
And we're not even talking about just getting that, because I also want to point out the cost of maintaining those things. I'm looking at the medallion system from New York City, because my lord.
Yeah.
Or like getting a CDL to drive a bus.
Yeah.
I have thought about those things, and it's like, yeah, that seems like a lot. Like, it's not like they're hiring me with my Class C North Carolina license to drive a taxi cab. So I'm like,
I can see you being a bus. I really could truly could see you being a bus driver. Real talk. For real. No shade.
I do too. That's the
You
thing. I really do
You
too.
could be a local truck driver.
That's following in the truck driver. That's following in the steps of my dad. I don't know if I'm gonna do all that.
Are you kidding me? Have you seen how many hours you have logged on American Truck Simulator?
Actually, hold on. Let me go check real quick.
If not, I'll check for you.
84.9 hours. Damn, December 3rd. That's not that long ago, but still. I do need to get back on that. Uber proved you have the workers and they are willing to work if you enable them to do so on their own terms. Yes, that is the one thing I like about Uber and Lyft. Like, I could really despise that fucking company, but that is the one thing that I like about Uber and Lyft is just I can go whenever I want. Now, they can be very fucking pushy on my damn cell phone. Hey, these are prime hours to be out on the road. It's like, man, fuck you. No, not today. But it's like looking at like this digital boss and it's like, no, fuck you. I'm not coming in. I have power over my Uber notifications. So from one car thing to another, Tesla settles its racism lawsuit with a black worker. Doesn't pay to be a racist, or at least it shouldn't, because we know that in America it does still.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, looking for something. There we go. On Friday, Tesla settled with Owen Diaz, a former Tesla employee, according to a court filing on Friday. Both were fighting a $3.2 million verdict from a federal appeals court, but decided to settle. According to a joint stipulation for dismissal, it reads that, quote, the parties have executed a final binding settlement agreement that fully resolves all claims. No, Ruin, this doesn't mean that it's safe. It just means that, hey, they may or may not agree that that workplace was racist in California. But because we don't know what the settlement was, we don't know.
What was the saying? If you have a law, but you can pay for breaking it instead of going to jail, it's not a law, it's a fine or something like this. I can't remember what the quote is.
You got it. You got the gist.
It's a fine. It's a tax.
Let's see. Let's go through the order of things here. Well, we don't know what the terms are. Hopefully Diaz got some of that $3.2 million. The trial had been going on since 2021, which initially saw Diaz being awarded $137 million. It was then reduced to $15 million in April 2022 based on the amount of evidence presented and the law. This led Diaz to relitigate and was then awarded $3.2 million in April of 2023. Of course, I'm going to say, like my man, you have 15 million. Sure, it was 137 and it went down to 15, but you have 15. Now you have you were then awarded a fifth of that when you decided to relitigate. And now you probably don't even have the 3.2.
Mm-hmm.
It's at a certain point, it's like, look.
And if it was just purely the money that he was after, then yeah. But if not, then
I guess. Like, I really want to know what pushed him to relitigate and then take less money.
Mm-hmm.
or be awarded less money. Also, I want to know what that settlement was. According to the judge in his April 2022 ruling, what was it? I don't think I had. It's Judge Orick. I forgot to put his name in there. Had wrote that in May 2016, he was separated from Tesla without prior warning. Quote, Judge William Orick. There we go. Quote, the evidence was disturbing. The jury heard that the Tesla factory was saturated with racism. Diaz faced frequent racial abuse, including the N-word and other slurs. Other employees harassed him. His supervisors and Tesla broader management structure did little or nothing to respond, and supervisors even joined in on the abuse, one going so far as to threaten Diaz and draw a racist caricature near his workstation.
Who?
Merge, you are right. They technically is up, but of course, Tesla denies any of this, stating that, quote, no reasonable jury properly instructed could award any punitive damages against Tesla on the record here. End quote. It managed it, quote, enforced a policy prohibiting racially hostile conduct. It took concrete, significant steps to remedy each and every racial incident Mr. Diaz reported, and likewise took concrete and significant steps to remedy other racially inappropriate conduct of which it was aware. Twitch said, looks like the jury disagreed with your dog.
Mm-hmm. Yup.
Oh, I might have a late submission here. Give me a second.
Uh-oh. Yeah, so it looks like that Tesla lawsuit with the black worker is finally over. Dude, you are not getting a promotion if you continue to work remotely at Dell. Dell says, hey, we're not going to force you to come back into the office, but hey, would you like to have this new position that would pay more? Well, you got to come into the office to get it. You got to come over here to get it. It's over here. It's just right here. You sign the paper and you come into the office, you can get it.
Okay. Story time, once again, because I have come from a work trip. I am a remote worker. I am nowhere near an office, right? I need to point that out. I'm several hours away from the nearest one. And we had an in-office meetup thing. So that was mask and emergency and all that other stuff, right? Here's the thing. In said office, there were two people from our HR department who needed to talk to me who were in the same office building, who didn't even know I was there. So they were DMing me from the other side of the building. Y'all don't need to see these people to promote them or to have them do the work that they are doing. You absolutely don't. The in-office, I will say the in-office time, because I was talking to colleagues that I like, was nice, but it was also we're just out here spending a whole bunch of money going places and doing things that we didn't have to spend in really cold and windy weather, and for absolutely what? Because none of this was stuff that I couldn't do over a Zoom meeting. Sponsored trip though, so we will I will accept free trips to places, but generally speaking, this whole thing is you don't want to promote people who aren't in the building, in spite of the fact that them not being in the building means that they usually have a really long paper trail of the work that they do and how they do it. Because it's not like y'all didn't put in 3 layers of surveillance software. So the issue is what exactly? Please explain. Because it certainly can't be the contribution to office culture when y'all don't listen to HR complaints.
Well, the HR is there to protect the company, not you.
Okay, well, I mean, the HR could probably protect me by keeping me out of the office so that I don't cause problems with people.
Doesn't see how that protects the office. Again, remember, Rockstar is bringing people into the office because of leaks.
I mean, here's the thing. I'm just saying, is your office immune to fire? I don't understand. You know what? Right. I'm going to let y'all do that. You two are the professionals in dealing with these. I'm just sassy, okay?
I'm just telling you HR's function. I don't know what to tell you, dog.
But they literally said you will not run people coins if they work remote. I hope y'all unionize. I wish y'all a merry union.
Business Insider saw an offer extended to a remote worker for a promotion. In order to receive the promotion, they would have to come into an quote approved office. Spelling errors galore this week. The closest one for the employee was out of state.
Well, damn.
The notice that this seems really kind of out of character for Dell, because CEO Michael Dell wrote in a blog post in September of 2022 stating, quote, "At Dell, we found no meaningful differences for team members working remotely or office-based even before the pandemic forced everyone home. And when we asked our team members again this year, 90% of them said everyone has the opportunity to develop and learn new skills in our organization. The perception of unequal opportunity is just one of the myths of hybrid work." Your CEO said that less than 2 years ago, and now you're like, yeah, y'all gotta come in there if y'all want to move up in the company. But of course, we've seen moves like this before. Remember when Tesla CEO Musk forced everybody to come back into the office for both Tesla and SpaceX, and then Twitter when he bought it, and it said, hey, if y'all don't move within a certain amount of days, you're fired.
But then couldn't afford the building.
But that's not his problem. He's too rich to worry about that, Sin. It's not a law if you can afford to pay the fine, Sin.
But he can't afford to pay the fine, though.
Damn,
he couldn't afford it. That's why he had
he can't afford the building.
He had his furniture on sale on Amazon. Plus, he had to pay the city $2 million worth of fine for having a big ass flashing epilepsy sign.
Yeah.
What do we mean?
Damn.
He couldn't afford the fine, Dan.
Damn, y'all right.
It's
he couldn't afford Twitter without assistance. I mean, what are we talking about? I got no money.
I'm literally like, I know this the ha he kikis, but we can't even let you go that far because this is Elon we talking about, though.
You could.
Because my man is broke.
Nigga, you broke.
That's what I'm saying. He's making broke boy crypto bro moves. And yet, with like a billionaire net worth, man's couldn't even afford the building.
I'm starting to think some of this shit's inflated.
And who really paid for Twitter? Who really paid for Twitter?
Here's the thing, Ruin.
Saudis.
To answer there is a question here. You could, Major, didn't you have like that quote bot that just puts the quote on screen? Because I hope you have that active. I would love it for this.
I do.
You could be the most productive person.
Oh, no, not on screen. That thing broke. They've turned that service off. But I do have a quote. I do have a bot that will accept quotes.
So you could be the most productive person at the company, highest revenue, and they will tell you to fuck off because you work at home. Yes, but here's the thing. They already do that with people in person. The amount of people that I have had to talk to and be like, I know that it's really, like, if they tell you that you made, like, well over your margins and brought $1 million to the company, and they offer you an Amazon gift card and not an increase in the base pay that you make at this company, they are fucking up and you should collect their edges.
Period, exclamation point.
I say that to 5 people a year.
Don't forget,
which is still 5 people too many.
y'all remember that ageism suit that we talked? Oh, I mean, the ageism suit that we talked about from the Activision Blizzard?
Yep.
Or that's being directed at Activision Blizzard?
Mm-hmm.
That's technically what happened to that guy too. Like, other than he may not have been doing his job as well as he thought he was, but he was probably being paid way more than Microsoft wanted to pay his ass. Or no, Activision, because this was before the acquisition.
Yeah, this is Activision. Yeah, this is Activision. Yeah.
Yeah, Activision probably let him go too, because he was making too much money and won't doing much shit.
They were checking the books, and we were like, so what are you doing again?
So it don't matter whether you're doing the best job or not. If you making too much money and they trying to tighten that belt because, you know, they're trying to become more lean, agile, and sustainable.
They're doing neither of those things, to be clear.
They learned the line at Davos. So yeah. Dell employees, dude, you're getting a union.
Mm-hmm.
Or you need to get a union.
Got to get a union.
Who's ready for my favorite stories?
Oh God.
We're about to talk about TikTok and TikTok ban.
Oh yeah.
Or the fact that the Department of Justice doesn't really want to see a ban. They really want the Senate to vote and get ByteDance to sell TikTok to an American company. The DOJ really, and I cannot stress this enough. The DOJ really wants ByteDance to sell the company to an American or just somebody else that's friendly to America. Mm-hmm. I cannot stress that enough. They do not want to see a ban. They want the company to be sold to an American.
Mm-hmm. But which American? That's the question. Which American?
Anyone that will definitely let them tap into that sweet data. Mm-hmm. You know, the data that TikTok technically does not fucking collect.
Yep. and has servers in the US.
Oh, by Big Daddy Oracle. Why didn't they just ask Larry Ellison? Or Ellison. I think it's Ellison.
Mm-hmm. Because probably.
Oh, like, but Diogen, yes. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, Diogen's also correct. Yeah, they want that censorship shit too.
Yeah, because like I say, Oracle's like, what we getting paid for the milk. We don't want the whole cow. We good. Like, we hosting. We want the hosting rights.
You got the database company to hold the data.
Yeah,
the database company.
The and the. Why would I want the whole shebang? Why would I want the overhead, the excess? No, host it. Y'all can just park it here. So again, who's looking at the data? And who's going to buy TikTok? The question is, who's going to buy TikTok?
Well, the DOJ does not care as long as it goes to an American, and they want this so bad. They are having meetings with senators, closed doors. Say, hey, you know what? We know you may not like this. We know that technically, you know, you can't do all the oversight stuff that you want to do because we know this. Look, y'all, like the Senate is being run by the Democrats right now, so we know y'all care about that shit. But look, come on, man, just Just vote for it. So we can get that company and, you know, it be safe. The data would be safe from an adversary. Don't you want that? Y'all been looking for data privacy. We gonna get y'all data privacy. It won't be in the hands of an adversarial government.
Well, you know, I feel like this is where, like, every person who listens to this show or has listened for longer than 3 months, let's say, has any bit of melanin or just a basic set of observational skills, we're just like, y'all have been trying to buy the ability to shape people's opinions and access to information for ages. And now you just went and said, we need to ban this platform because it has undue influence. And then someone went, or we could just buy it. And y'all went, okay,
Good.
we're willing to hear you out about this.
But see, y'all. It ain't like y'all ain't trying to buy like the rights of TikTok in America. Like y'all trying to buy TikTok, the whole kit and caboodle. And so I'm like trying to figure out who gonna want to sell you. She was like, nah, fam. It's gonna be a ban for us. It's a ban for us.
Oh, he's just the CEO of TikTok. He ain't got nothing to say about that.
But it's a ban. But no. You're saying I want for 100 million people. That's US based, right?
Uh-huh.
To stay in the state at having access to 150 billion users, right? To stay in the United States, they have to be sold to an American company.
150 million if it's US.
150 million if it's the US. To stay in the access of 150 million people, you're going to you want an American company to not only own for 150 million people access, when the entirety of TikTok itself is almost near a billion. The whole lock, stock, and barrel, kit and caboodle.
We say over here.
And you, Shu, are going to say, yeah, I'm cool with selling as the CEO?
Well, I'm saying, like, it's not, I don't think it's up to him. It's up to ByteDance, and ByteDance has definitely said, fuck you.
Right. So Shu is saying, I am the mouthpiece.
No, if it were up to me.
I am the Silver Surfer. I speak for my herald. I am herald to Galactus. And
okay,
Galactus
got you.
No. You know, it's
we have to use colorful language around here for me to
right.
understand the point that everybody's trying to make.
Right. I'm literally
Which is sad.
saying
I don't follow comics.
There is that's what I'm saying. There is no absolute way that a company that has millions, they could cut us out and they would still have hundreds of millions of users worldwide.
Yeah, I don't even how do I do a billion minus 150 million? That's a lot of zeros.
Right. Even then, still a lot.
Yeah.
To then say, I allow me, Shu, or ByteDance. I speak for like I say, Shu pretty much says from ByteDance, hell no, and your breath stink and your mama breath stink too. Do what you gotta do, Playboy. That's what they said. Shu is like, we are not selling.
I mean,
to nobody.
It's giving the whole thing of,
if ban is all you got, ban is all you got. Do what you got to do, Playboy. It's like that's what
it's giving the whole thing of like, hey, you have people who, or you know what? It's almost like it's almost like the Minneapolis thing, but not as serious. But also
not
definitely serious because there are people who are making a living from this app, which will then be cut out.
Right.
And then I had a whole bunch of people But I saw like a couple of videos on this. One of them cross-posted to Instagram of just being like, there are also a number of very faulty assumptions about ByteDance as a company and its connection to the government in the first place.
Yeah,
which,
like,
of course they're hoping.
It's the Red Scare. It's the fucking Red Scare all over again.
Meanwhile,
it really is, but the thing is,
real communists are literally out here on the platforms that are not being banned. And you can't physically say, and that's what I'm saying. That's why we're running into different issues and circumstances of people we're running into like MTG being like, no. You're like, Maddie G, no. Still wild. And when we get into the Senate, I heard, and that's not really a heard. I don't want to talk too much about it because I don't want to say, but I'm just going to say the words RP. RP say that a person by the initials RP is going to block it.
Serious?
Again, I can't speak for sure.
You know what?
I can't. Like
fair enough. We'll see how it goes.
No, I'm gonna say. Are you saying? Can you confirm that Rand Paul of all people is going to block this?
That is the word from the congressional curve. That is
I can see it because he's doing it for the same reason MTG is.
Right, because of the First Amendment.
Because they're looking at it like the first fucking time like they make some sense. Like if they do it to this app, which we may not like, they will do it to ours.
And we can't do that. We can't have them come for True Social and Parler.
Parler just got back.
Yes.
Can we just talk about that for a second? Because I would like to talk about the fact that y'all.
But again, that's speculation on that one. That's speculation. Wow.
I mean, fair. But I think y'all have said the quiet part out loud here about something really important. Is that the line between, or the gap between when people go, oh, okay, they did this. Oh, wait, if they did that over here, then that means they can bring that to my house. Is getting a lot.
It's
precedent.
Shorter. It's precedent.
It's getting a lot shorter because people used to be like precedent, but then be like, nah, it's fine. We don't have to worry about that. And now people are just like, oh no, we actually have to care about this.
Yeah, Israel is literally doing this.
Yeah. They were just like, oh wait. If they do this, then they can. And it was just like, nope. Let's go ahead and get that out of there. And I'm just like, this is where y'all pay attention to stuff.
Like Israel and the border.
So it's all fun. It's all fun and games when
Israel,
it's like, they come across
cities. Excuse me.
Cities, yeah. Not just Atlanta. Cities.
But yeah, it's a thing of like, I put on TikTok and Instagram. I said, look, or I think it was just TikTok at the time. I said, look, what I was like, I think it's cute that everybody has their own theories about why the TikTok ban is happening. Let me sit down and tell you, you're right. You're all right.
You're all right.
You're all fucking right.
Every one of your theories is correct.
Like, I look at each one of them and say, no, it's not this, it's that. I was like, no, all of them are true.
Every single one. True.
Like it's the Red Scare. It's data privacy, which we'll get into that in just a second because oh god. It's the fact that Zuck can't get all the data. It's the fact that the US government wants your data. It's the fact that they can't control a narrative with themselves or with Israel. Like, it's all of the things. Every conspiracy theory is like, it's probably right, except for the way out there ones. The only conspiracy theory that's wrong here is the one that that Congress is currently using to try to ban it.
It's like you could be like, oh, worries about influence for a foreign government. Oh, you mean
Israel?
Israel?
No,
Oh,
no,
you mean
we no,
Russia? East Star Nation? Blue Star Nation?
mm,
Like, are you talking about were you talking about Russia? What are you talking about?
oh, but
What are we
Russia's on the
talking about?
list. Russia's on the list.
I mean, yeah, Russia's on the list, but it's like, dude,
Like it's on again. The other countries on that list are there just to fill it out, just to fill out a list. To see we made a list. Also, shout out to TikTok for us literally coming to their defense in the clip I posted, but because the way the clip is framed, TikTok will not allow our clip to go on the For You page.
yep.
But like, what's wild to me is that this is a thing that the Department of Justice is pushing for.
I mean,
That is the part that is sending. Like,
do you
that is
not
the part
know
that
why?
is sending.
Do you not know why?
No, that is the part that is sending me, because I feel like as the Department of Justice, right? I'm just like, listen. I feel like when you are doing your job correctly, this is the law, this is the side of it that you are on. Fix it before you fuck it up, if you're fucking it up. Otherwise, all right, well, this is red, this is what the president say about this, go home. Not the, now, we were talking about a ban last month and all this other stuff, but I might urge you to consider, what if you just sold it? That, I feel like, from the Department of Justice as a thing, is like, y'all aren't a business entity, or you
But
shouldn't
do
be.
you understand why they're saying that? That's what I'm asking. Do you know why they're saying it?
Well, I mean, it's in the article, right?
Well, I'm asking you. Like, I mean, it is in the article.
I mean, fair, because it's not like I looked very closely at it. None of this just makes sense. So, there you go.
It's because they want the sweet, sweet data. If
Oh,
it's in the
like-
hands of Americans, they can
Hold on for a moment.
tap it.
Major. We said this at the beginning of this whole article thing.
Okay,
What do you mean?
I just want to make sure.
No, we talked about this every week for like the last 3 weeks.
But you say like it doesn't make sense. Like, no, it makes perfect sense.
No, I mean, here's the thing. It doesn't make sense that the Department of Justice is doing it, is the point there, right? Because the thing is, we want access to the sweet, sweet data sounds more like a corporate interest, or more like something that maybe the Department of Homeland Security would say. But like, for you to be a judge on the bench being like, are you sure you don't just want to sell that? Girl?
Well, I'm thinking Department of Justice as in FBI.
Oh, okay. If you're thinking about that as the FBI, fair.
Yeah,
if you're
that's
saying that if you're
DOJ
making them
is
equivalent to the API, then the FBI, not like, for example, like,
yeah, I'm thinking because I
the
think
court
that is
system.
an executive branch, not a judicial branch.
Right.
I think that's a misnomer, or I don't
Department
know.
of Justice.
Look,
Okay, if
hold on.
they're an executive branch, then okay, fine, that changes things.
It's that weird nature of like you as the Department of Justice being like, don't y'all want to sell? Like don't you want to sell with somebody? I mean, we could make
Yes.
inroads. We can make
the Federal
inquiries.
Executive Department of the United States government.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is a part of the executive branch. The DOJ are fucking cops.
Yeah. And it's like, imagine.
That's
if,
why I
like,
said it makes so much sense, because it is
no,
the
the
fucking
thing is,
cops.
But also,
I was thinking about
Yeah.
them as an entity of the judicial
Judicial
branch,
system,
and
yeah,
thinking
got you.
of
Right.
them as
But-
an agent of the judicial branch. And so it's like, why would you ever let those words come out your mouth? As an executive branch thing, absolutely
Yeah,
makes
the
sense.
fucking
It's
ops.
It's
so-
disgusting
Yes.
and abhorrent, but it makes sense.
because it's like
Great.
because
Now
it's
we're
like,
on the same page.
it's like the equivalent of like, you know, when cops impound the car and then they're like, hey guys, you want to like buy this car, like, you know, buy this car that we impounded because we can't have it in the yards, so civil forfeiture got us to like selling this bad boy. And it's like, but in that respect that's fine because they are responsible for impounding it, and there's a, and you know, they, you know, civil forfeiture allows them to keep it and then sell it to do whatever. That's fair. But in that respect, you're basically saying, hey guys, do you not want to just sell your stuff? And it's like, dude, we don't have to sell it. But hey guys, could you suggest that they sell it to an American company? And it's like, now you're just being like Avon at this point. Like you're trying to get people.
Well, it's not so much that they're trying to. It's not so much that they're trying to sell it. It's like, look, hey, if y'all force them to sell it, then we can get the shit that's inside. You know how we fucking failed to get Apple to unlock those phones from San Bernardino? What if we just owned a company that just gave us the fucking data?
And they're like, yeah, no. And Shu was like, yeah, no.
So this is the thing, like they're not talking to Shu. They're talking to the Senate.
Right. But Shu has said no.
Yeah,
because he spoke from his company and his chest, and he said, nah, it's a ban for us, bro.
So we see what y'all doing over there? And even if you do, even if Sleepy Genocidal Joe signed that fucking bill into law, we out here, we gonna be out here in 6 months.
Two things is also a thing. They can be like, yeah, we can either be out or we can sue you.
Yeah, so it's gonna be longer than 6 months. We're gonna have TikTok for a while.
We're gonna have TikTok for a minute.
Because again, it's still that it's even though, because I've had people argue with me saying like, how is this a First Amendment issue? They're not banning TikTok. Y'all are drinking the fucking Kool-Aid.
Mm-hmm. Y'all
are drinking the fucking Kool-Aid. Just because it does not say ban, this is a fucking ban. Because how can you force a company to sell?
Mm-hmm.
Like y'all seem to be really cool with this weird late stage capitalism bullshit. Like like play the game by your own rules, motherfucker.
I wouldn't be surprised if like somebody's telling them, guys, let me teach you how to like to side load our app real quick.
Oh look, I'm like, yo, for real, if that happens though, if the ban does go through and I can't get anymore, oh, best believe I will probably switch to Android.
Yep.
I mean that's unless the DOJ actually does do something decent with the Apple thing and then allows Americans to side load apps.
Right, and here's also the weird thing though, like, does that also account for PC? Because there's web apps.
I mean, the servers could just not be on U.S. soil.
As many servers generally don't tend to be. It's like there's web apps. I was thinking that to myself, like, isn't there like web apps?
I mean, yeah, for all intents and purposes, yeah, they could just move over to the web and just do that shit.
Like we don't. It's like, don't we all have browsers? It's like
again,
like
I said in another article. Look, until they can sit there and not have to use their staffers to check their email, leave us alone.
Or how to open up PDFs.
I heard Chuck Schumer still uses a fucking flip phone.
Oh, that tracks. I definitely would be a lot more on the side of the Senate, being the Senate would be a little bit more. Not
you think
as
that,
quick.
But hey, TikTok's favorite congressman, Jeff Jackson, voted for it.
But see, he's a house. It's like he's a house.
But he's also a Democrat.
Yeah, he's a Democrat. No, I'm talking about Democrats. True. I'm talking about Democrats. I'm also talking about representatives. That was funny to me because my man was getting like mollywopped.
Oh my god!
In the replies.
Like I wasn't that down for him, but even still, I was feeling embarrassed. I was feeling embarrassed, like, dude.
Jeffrey,
like you were top shit. You were top shit, North Carolina. Come on, dog.
And from your state, and I was like, oh,
I voted. I think we talked about this last week. I said, nigga, I voted for you for district attorney, man. This how you do me?
Yep. Can I just say that when it comes to voting in this country, the constant refrain of every black person I know is, why do y'all keep fucking embarrassing me after I decide to put that vote in here?
It's literally us rolling these like these 9-sided, 12-sided dies and hoping for an integrity check. Can I get an integrity check? No.
Listen,
Okay.
I'm not like
So
we're
you
not
have to
even
use the
asking for a
you have
high.
to use the politician die, and it's all ones. They're just
It's
like
all ones.
Kinda
zeros. Like,
like,
wait,
listen,
this has a zero on it.
I'm rolling a 20-sided die.
And it
I
all has
just need a
zero.
number higher than 8. I just need a number higher than 8.
That
That's
I
all
handed you.
want.
I
And y'all
handed you one that
consistent.
has nothing but zeros.
And
You
then it's
handed
like
me
6.
one that has 1 through 7 on it, but only 1 through 7. I will never get to 8. Some people look like they're gonna be close, and then they have to do something where they'd have to be that 8, and they just don't do it.
It's like we are all out here like hoping and praying like good relationships. We just hoping and praying that we at least find somebody that rocks with us enough to actually be a person with, now I wouldn't say it doesn't have to have a lot of integrity, but at least have some integrity enough not to truly laugh and spit in our faces. Like that's the part, or treat us like that we are absolute nimrods, and I can't I can't.
And now
But-
we have one party that will just say it out loud, and the other one that we have one party that isn't treating us like idiots. They'll treat their own base like idiots, but the rest of us who don't buy into it is like, okay, y'all are smart enough to understand this, right? That we just don't we don't give a fuck. The other party is like, if we keep saying we're progressive and we give them the thing that we could have fought for and won 2 years ago, but didn't, while they're complaining about a thing that we can literally do right now.
Yeah. Also
Vote for Joe.
term limits.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Age limits too. Look, should not be geriatrics running the country.
Tic-tac-toe, a winner.
Okay, so so nobody was making that up. She actually did try to make try to drop a bar.
She did a Pokemon Go to the polls, and I was like,
Oh, I thought that was Hillary.
that's what I'm saying. She did a Pokemon Go to the polls. Do you remember when you heard Pokemon Go to the polls?
Yeah, I thought that was Hillary, not Pelosi.
No. I need you to listen to me. She did. Nancy Pelosi did a Hillary Clinton. Pokemon Go to the polls.
She did she pulled a thing.
Is that?
Got you.
Tic-tac-toe, a winner. You know when you thought you said something and you ate and you didn't eat?
Oh,
and
like
now
Jeff Jackson.
everybody is memeing the crap at.
Oh, like Jeff Jackson.
You ate, but you left every bit of food on this gourmet plate
now
and ate none of it.
And now all your aides got to show you the TikToks of people roasting your old privilege behind. Girl, what is you doing? Girl, what is you doing? Embarrassing. You know what? That's one. And you just got right. And you just got right from you kneeling with kente cloth. You just got right from that. Barely.
Because you bought that kente cloth from Amazon. You and every other person in that room.
You bought that kente cloth from Wish.
Temu.
AliExpress.
Shein. It's out here.
Joann's Fabrics. Listen.
Ooh, I don't know. They kind of need all the help they can get, though, right? Didn't they declare bankruptcy just a second ago?
Yeah.
Somebody said, why couldn't this happen to Hobby Lobby?
And then Hobby Lobby just still living. What?
With narrow barcode in sight.
Narrow barcode.
That sends me.
Yeah.
How y'all? Oh.
We ain't gonna go there. Keep going.
Yes, because we have other privacy news to talk about from the House of Representatives.
Yep.
Can you believe it? It is a literal act of Congress. A literal act of Congress. Everybody unanimously agrees that we should not be selling data to the Chinese or Russia or Iran or North Korea.
Shocker.
But only those countries. If you are not those countries, you can buy American data all you fucking want, baby.
Including Americans.
Yeah, let's not focus on the part that, hey, maybe we should stop collecting and selling data, period.
Mm-hmm.
No. People have to make money in this free capitalist fucking society. So sell the data, just not to those 4 countries.
Yep.
And that was my whole point, Diogen. Like, who's to stop a broker from fucking flipping that shit outside of the U.S.?
Mm-hmm. I think John Oliver made that particularly easy.
But he's still in the U.S., so he can't sell it either.
He can't sell it. He just said, "Yo, I bought that."
But he's like, "Yeah, I bought it,
and it's in this envelope. I ain't gonna tell you what's in it,
but
there's some stuff in it."
That was a great episode.
That was a wonderful episode. He bought all the data from around the area of Congress.
This building. Is it people were using IP addresses from the fucking building?
Imagine. When we always tell you don't be Googling stuff, don't be Googling weird stuff at work. This is what we mean.
Don't be clicking random ads, man, on your work computer, dog. What are you doing?
And was like, sent all that around the area, and then was like, yep, I can't tell you what we got, but we got some stuff. The lawyers won't let me, but yeah, it's spicy.
But yeah, so this is House Bill 7520, the Protecting Americans' Data from Foreign Adversaries Act, not just Protecting Americans' Data from Everybody Act.
Mm-hmm.
All 414 members of the House. This has only happened 5 times this year, where everybody who was in the building voted in favor of a thing.
So, Major, what were those other 4 things?
Ooh, I don't remember off the top of my head, but I do remember 2 specific ones because one really kind of pissed me off.
Talk about it, Major. What was it?
One was Hamas should stop raping people, which was debunked. Because guess who was doing the raping?
Just before we say things like this, can we just content warning that, please?
Sorry.
Thank you.
Sorry about that.
Love you, mean it.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, that was proven false.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go there for a second. That was proven false, unlike, one of your Supreme Court justices who is currently on the stand. Who is currently on the bench, if we're going to talk about that.
Ooh. Or former
do we want
president.
To do anything? Do we want to talk about that? Do we want to talk about the person who was banned from the ballot in at least 2 other states, which also letting him run anyway?
Also the soldiers.
Mind you, recorded on camera and in 4K.
Mm-hmm.
Also the soldiers of, the country you're backing or the state that you're backing. The actual perpetrators of that.
Mm-hmm.
But on a lighter note, they did rename a post office after somebody in Texas. They unanimously agreed on that. And I think there was like a bit, like something to keep, I want to say it was probably an appropriations bill that kept the lights on from a shutdown. Mm-hmm. Maybe. I don't know. But yeah, everybody voted to say, hey, we should not sell our data to China, Russia, North Korea, and Iran. But again, can we not address you are selling our data, period. I would like for you to stop doing that part.
See, first of all, you're trying too hard to make sense.
True. I feel like the United States is an adversarial government. Can we not sell our data to other people within the United States? I'm a sovereign nation.
Oh, so you're Texas.
If only.
This ain't Texas. Ain't no hold.
Hold them.
The old car down.
Come on, Deacon.
Okay. Who wants to move on to gaming news?
Yes.
And I actually do have one story in gaming, and it's a good one. U.S. government, but major, we sell people's data to foreign governments and companies. No! Steam Families Beta is out, and it makes sharing games with your family members so much easier. How easy, you say? It was easy enough for me to implement. And now my son has access to most of my Steam library. Thank you, Valve.
Nice.
But also, if you were looking to share games with people who may not be your family, they could be your found family. You could totally do that. It's not that hard. And it's like you just combine all your games. You just have a whole bunch of games. The only thing you can't do is play the same game as the other person.
Mm-hmm.
But every game that is on each other's library, if you are sharing those games, you could share them. And I'm tempted. I'm tempted to see if there are people who would like to be a part of my family. I am adopting people with huge Steam libraries. Does not seem like Valve was checking it out. I don't know. But in all seriousness though, it's a really they've family sharing and moderation stuff before, but it was really it was difficult for me to kind of figure out. This one was literally hey, go into this beta, send an email to the account that you're trying to share with, which I had to go create one for my son. Had him I accepted it on his behalf. And yeah, pull up Steam on his computer and he has access to, when I initially tested, he had access to all of my Steam games. Of course I had to go and manually deactivate some games. There were 2 games that I own that aren't a part of the Steam Families beta, which is oddly enough The Division and it was something else I can't remember off the top of my head. And I'm able to see the games that he plays, how often he plays them. I can kind of set time limits for him. He can also, and it also allows him to go if he wants to make a purchase, he would it would send a notification to me and I'd have to approve his purchase before he buys his new game. Or I can buy it and then he just have access to it. I want to say that Takao had a few concerns with it, but I don't think it. I think the way they were writing the policy or trying to use this feature, it was for children and not necessarily for adults specifically. But I can see where he was having some of those issues. The only note that I have for Valve is that they should add a feature to say, hey, I want my child to play games only in certain ESRB categories. So that way I don't have to go manually look for games that I need to exclude from my library that I may miss. But yeah, outside of that, like it's really good. Again, it's in beta, so I imagine like they will roll out more features, probably make it a little bit better to use. But I mean, so far what they have right now is really good. I do recommend that, hey, if you do have children and you want to get them in PC gaming, you should do that. I have now, because this exists, I am now about to be that parent who's like, you know what, maybe we should limit the iPad time. We need to get some PC time, some keyboard and mouse time, some controller time.
Yes.
We need to start earning these Steam achievements. Speaking of which, those on, like if you're using Steam Families, you also get your own saves, you get your own Steam achievements. It's like you own the game, but you don't.
Nice.
But yeah, it's really cool. It's a really cool feature. I'm excited for it. Like I don't like a lot of these other services like Epic and whatnot. It was really difficult to kind of figure that stuff out. I still don't think I have figured it out. I somehow have a parental lock on my own Epic account.
Oh geez.
And that confused
Someone come
me.
get this. Someone come get this sassy child. Who are their parents?
I call them, but they're probably asleep. But yeah, like it's really confusing. So like it's a thing where like I'm pretty sure if I sat down and actually tried to read how Steam does theirs, I would have figured it out the old way. But they changed it to this new one, and like it was like just easy to follow, a simple set of instructions, and the games were there. Like I don't even think Epic has parental controls or like a parental like game sharing service. It's like you can install parental controls and that's it. You just put in a code and that's how you get it. That's how they can buy a game or something. And that's how I ended up with a parental code on mine, because I had shit confused. But yeah. Okay, I was something's out of order, but it's not. I realized what's coming next. In streaming news, we're pulling a story.
Cool. You know, we love a remix. What you got for us?
Oh, it's just the article that belonged to your story from last week. When you asked what was the reason for Amazon pulling Prime Video watch parties, it's because it's not the pandemic anymore and nobody is watching them, according to Amazon. So you're going to invest that money somewhere else. So it was coming, but now we know why.
I can't even really argue with that point. I want to so bad, but I can't. I kind of have to let them have that one.
Yeah, because I mean, and I think the state of the watch party has also have shifted a little bit.
Yeah, because I said Discord should seize on this opportunity, but again, spelling errors abound.
Yeah.
Hope it ceases. And now here is our first, and what I'm hoping is not many, Tech Talk in memoriams. This new feature. It is
that time of the month, huh?
Yes, this new feature was introduced after I refused to write layoff stories. So we decided to do like award shows, and at the end of every month before Thursday, every last podcast for the month, decided to go through a list of companies that have lost jobs this month.
Mm-hmm.
So this month, Google cuts team of contractors who went on strike. I'm sure you remember that popular TikTok from earlier in the month where the YouTube music contractors who went to an Austin City Council meeting to say, can you help us as we fight Google to get it to negotiate for better workplace environments and money. To which, behind their backs, Google said, you know what? Terminate the contract. And it led to this sweet little moment, this sad moment where a guy was just beginning his speech. His coworker walked up to him and said, they just let us all off. They fired all of us. We don't have a job anymore. To which the young man kind of repeated the sentiment, and then the buzzer went off. To where it did not seem like the city council really cared about what happened. Is it up? Your time has expired. We'll look into that.
Mm-hmm.
All of it very, very sad.
All of it very sad, yeah.
And I believe we've covered this story of those YouTube music contractors. After the NLRB said that, hey, Google, you have to negotiate. Rooster Teeth is shutting down after 21 years thanks to after an unsuccessful attempt to sell the unprofitable fandom gaming and comedy entertainment division.
So this was like Embracer, but for like television.
Yes, because we've seen what Warner Brothers has been doing as of late.
Oh yeah, complete fire sale. Like
making excellent decisions.
The best decisions. But somehow bringing multiverses back?
Mm-hmm.
Like they have an advertising partnership with McDonald's. I was surprised to see that the other day. So yeah, Rooster Teeth is gone.
Mm-hmm.
And I hate that because I know like a couple of streamers that I follow that are also like very much involved with that, and it's just kind of like this sucks for everybody.
Oh, that's right, Diogen, you're absolutely right. I forgot there was an article that went out. There's some stories going out. They're pivoting to live service and mobile games now.
Rooster Teeth?
No, WB or Warner Brothers Discovery.
Yeah,
they made that announcement not too long after Justice League came out, or not Justice League, but Suicide Squad.
Mm-hmm. Committing to a genre that time and time again is only good for even the best of developers who you know, it's not self-sustaining, you know.
But that's where all the money is right now, Kev.
But that's not. But then they end up failing. The money might be there, but then they end up being like, yeah, no.
I mean, they fail, but who gets to keep the money and who?
Yeah, because really, what they are is like almost like pump and dumps, almost like it's like.
I mean, is that not the entire tech? Was that not just capitalism? How do we make money for the shareholders and?
True.
Honestly, is that base capitalism? Yes, but there's definitely been an uptick in those things for a while because what you've got, instead of like, I just want to be a person who has all the money, I want to be a person who has all the money but doesn't have to work. So you went from people who are trying to build empires to people who are just like, I just want to make this cool enough that someone else will buy it so I can have whatever money building an empire would have given me, and then I can just go and do something else, and someone else can have to figure out what's going on with all this other logistic admin stuff.
Right. It's like we do the thing, we do the thing, and we get the initial, right? Then we close in about 2 years. What we do, like we basically like do what 2 years? We do 2 years, and then we're maybe 2, and then we're out. And then wash, rinse, and repeat. And you're committing to a self-sustaining thing that gets you money, but then also being like, has me thinking like, okay, well, I love this game and I really like it and I really enjoy it. But where's this game going to be in 2 years? Where's this game going to be in like 3 years? What's going to happen to that game if that game just decides to go away? And why would I ever be excited about a live service game if I know that I only got about a good 3 weeks, like a year,
as
maybe?
a shareholder in Warner Brothers Discovery, do not give a shit how you think about that game because dividends. I got paid, baby.
Well, then see, I'm not buying it. So let somebody else force it. That's really what it comes down to. Like no, seriously.
But see, again, it's that whole thing of.
It's like
the way the stock market works is like, look, we get excited about a thing, people buy the shares, the price goes up, I make the money. By the time the ship falls,
no.
Yeah, like it's all done. I've already sold. I've made the bank. I can give two shits if you don't buy the game. It was the hype was real.
Mm-hmm. And those pre-orders were strong.
Exactly.
Right. But until those pre-orders are not strong, like that's essentially it. And it's like, okay, kind of don't want to like buy game if game if game is not good in the interim, but then also game's not gonna last in the next like a year from now, 2 years.
And that's kind of the thing when you have people who are just trying to not have to hold something, like then you try to run up the value, and I put that in quotes here, try to run up the value, and then try not to be the person holding the hot potato when that time has passed or whatever. It's that people don't do that. And as a larger kind of statement about capitalism and all of its nonsense, it has a way of basically either compressing or entirely deleting your capacity to imagine the future past a very short
6 months.
Frame.
Like from what I've been hearing from a lot of people, is like a lot of these execs do not think past 6 months.
Yeah.
Which is kind of shit for a lot of service games because you need it to be on a problem for more than 6 months.
Yes.
Like if you like, I don't understand how you are running a company and you can't think past 6 months.
Plus,
like nigga, when you interview me for a job, you asked me where do I see myself in 5 years.
And that's the thing. That is the point at which you have to have a company for that amount of time before you find out if it's even going to be successful. It's usually a minimum of 5 years.
Plus, like a lot of these games cost like millions, if not millions of dollars to go through. And again, what if like, yeah, you spent millions of dollars. Let's say you spent like $10 million on the property, right? You spent like $10 million on the property. You want to get like your original 10 back, plus whatever else after that is your profit. You make 10 million and you sell it out there and you get 12 million. Is that a failure?
Who are we asking?
And that's something.
That's like I say, it shareholders.
Oh, I thought like, look, if we're asking Square Enix about their Western studios, no.
Right. Because again, if it's like, like I say, because most of these are like 3 and 5 million, and they sold 50, and we're like, well, that's not a success. And it's like
Tomb Raider, like as much as I have not played Tomb Raider, those games looked amazing. People love those games. Square Enix is like, nah, dog, that was a failure. Guardians of the Galaxy, that game was a fucking banger. It was better than it had any right to be, especially after the flop that was the Avengers.
Right.
That was a failure.
Yes. So it's like you're saying to your core, it's live services are good for shareholders and bottom line and profit sheets and profit sheets, whatever. But you're not selling games to shareholders. You're selling games to consumers. And if the game is not, and if you're saying to your like, okay, if your whole process is you're selling to people and you're saying this game maybe has a shelf life of maybe a year, 2 years, good luck. And and then people are like, cool, this game has about a year on me. I just dropped like 60. I got a year on it. Let's go. Next game comes, that's another year. Boom, let's go. Or people just might be like, no, I'm good. I'm just gonna play this little $15 game that is everything that I want, or I'm gonna play this $40 game that's everything that I want and nothing that is also live service, but it's also fun though. And I know even if it goes away in a year, I only spent like $40. If it goes away in 2 years, I only spent like $40.
And see, look, I mean, because so I'll say this, like, you were saying all these things to the exec, they don't care because, like, look, their bonuses.
I'm not. Let me say again. I'm not saying that to. I'm not saying
right. Okay.
For them that there's not going that they don't that I'm saying this because I want you to care. I don't care either. But I don't care either because I'm not their target audience.
Right.
But it's perpetuating a system that gives you that gives you short-term gains, but it also conditions your player base to like, okay, cool, I like this game. Oh, it's been a year. Boop, uninstall.
Right, but so what I was trying to say was, I may have introduced my point incorrectly. But what I'm saying is, like, that's why I appreciate we have people like you who are playing these indie games, who are promoting it, because these are games that are like, when you spend that money, when you drop that $10, $5, $10, $15, $20, $30, it is more often than not going to the studio. It is going to the developers, and those people are seeing a direct impact, as opposed to spending $60.
Care about the games that they
make. As opposed to people who are putting out $67 games. And let me stop. For anybody comes, they care about the games too. The developers, the people who are painstakingly making the art, who are coding this shit, they fucking care.
Yes.
But there is a whole level of bullshit in between your wallet and where they are.
Right.
Yep.
And that's where your money gets lost. It gets trickled down to them and they get their paychecks.
Yes.
No,
but also, like, it's like
a Reagan quote in here.
Huh?
You didn't put a Reagan quote in here.
I did. Look, Biden did too. I figured it was okay. Like, the money does get down to them, but also it's the fact that, hey, if the game did not give the execs or the shareholders a lot of money, a lot of returns after the fact.
Yes.
If the money still isn't rolling in after that initial height, then the employees get the axe.
Can I just talk about the weird way that works?
Yeah.
Oh, it's very weird.
You know, when I say that's weird, right? I don't mean like, oh, whoa, so quirky, so curious how that works. I mean, it is genuinely a weird thing over the course of my lifetime to see things where people expect things to be infinitely profitable. It is a very weird thing to me for people to be like, this thing didn't manage to hold, 1999. Like, we made a game for 1999. That game should be 1999 forever, and it should always have 1 million people who want to buy it. Like, what do you mean? There are only so many people who even are into the genre who would buy the game. Where are y'all like expecting all of these people to continuously have money to buy the game or to constantly come back to the game, especially if you make them live services and not contained experiences where they can have a defined beginning, middle, end, experience the joy of that game, and then go, I would like to come back to that. Like, the amount of people that I know that play retro games specifically that are like, I have a game I like to come back to every year. Every 2 years. Yep. I like playing Chrono Cross every Christmas because that game just held nostalgia. They've been playing that game for 20 years. They've been waiting for every remake, bought it on day one. But for whatever reason, the shareholders, that side of things doesn't matter as much as that. But they're just like, nothing in the market ever holds its value for that long without changing.
Except for Nintendo games.
Like, Nintendo said, we will let the CEO take like half their pay or whatever before we'll fire people, but you're also going to get not discounted this game. And I'm like, That's fair, and that's the other thing.
Fair.
People will still buy Nintendo games. They will still look at that and go, you know what? All right.
Sigh, but
Yeah.
I mean, there's always a but
me
because
next
it's
month.
a corporation. But
no, well, I'm
No,
saying
not
like
next month.
sigh, it's $60, but I'm going to buy this because like it wasn't a but because the corporation was like, it's $60.
You're
but
right.
I want to play
Yeah.
Tears of the Kingdom.
It's like, yeah, that's me with like Thousand Year Door next month, May. Like that's also, yeah.
Or the thing of like, I'll wait till it goes on sale. Never goes on sale. Fuck, I've run out of games to play. I guess I have to pick up Mario Wonder at $60.
You know, me being like, yeah, I will buy, like, yeah, I will buy a game, but I do have Amazon credit, so I did that. That also helps.
every now and then you do just look at these companies and be like, child, let me, I listen, I already know what it is. It's fine. Let me just run your money real quick and
like
play this.
I am more apt, as much as I have as much shit to say about Nintendo, and I have it all often, but I do understand, you know, that the games are the games and the games are good, and I know the games are going to be worth it and worth it to me and have good times with it. Like I've been playing Wonder with the little one, and the little one has been playing the same 2 or 3 levels because that's all the 2 or 3 levels she likes, but she is having a good time playing those same 3 levels, and that's the joy of seeing her enjoy it as much as I've been enjoying it. But you know, I know those games are going to hold their value with me more than, say, this particular, you know, insert live service game here. So I don't mind, you know, covering that.
Grand Theft Auto was $60 for almost a decade.
Right, and I had that video of me talking about when six coming out. I know this is going to be $70. I know we're now going to be sitting out there playing a $70 game. I'm not excited about it. I'm not hype about it. I'll probably get it at some point, but I'm not happy about it.
Let me not say a decade. It did come out in 2013.
It came out in 2013.
Maybe? All right, let me...
I mean, no, that's a decade.
Yeah,
that's a decade.
What I'm saying is it fell. The price of Grand Theft Auto fell before 2023.
Yeah.
Like it's been out for a decade,
Fair.
yes, but the price of that game did fall like a couple of years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Like I remember when I first got to PC gaming, and like a big thing was to play GTA Online on PC, and like the person who's running the community at the time was like, "Yeah, like I know the game is $60. It never goes on." So I was like, "Damn, like they really hold that." But and it's like I would always justify it as all of their DLC has been free. Like you have not had to pay for a lick of DLC. They just give you everything in this game.
Yeah.
Like I can't be mad at them for keeping that shit at 60. But yeah, they finally put the price of the shit down. Oh, let's see here. So yeah, Rooster Teeth is just gone now. And last but not least, Apex Legends developer Respawn was hit by EA layoffs. 670 people from the studio are now gone. Which sure did not look great over the weekend when they got hit by where their tournament got hit by cyber attack.
Yeah.
I shouldn't be as happy about that as I am, but I'm petty, so I am.
I mean, I'm not that happy about it because the fact that it wasn't so much the tournament got hit as much as competitors had their computers legit hacked.
Yeah, people were compromised.
Like participants had motherfuckers in their machines.
Yeah.
Okay, now that's sad.
Yeah.
I'm actually sad about that.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, I would be like, haha, he's, but it was more or less like, no, people got compromised. Like security was compromised.
Well, it was like one of those people who did not deserve to be in that line of fire were in the line of fire.
Correct.
Is what I'm hearing.
Yes.
Correct.
Okay, that's fair. I will retract the ha he's for right now. I only save those for corporations getting hacked who don't pay their people properly.
Now, according to one TikTok I saw from, I think it was a Pirate Software. I can't remember who shared it with me because I got hit multiple places by both Kev and Super Didi uh, about this situation.
Yeah, I was like, oh yeah, we need to talk about that. Yep.
Like Pirate Software was talking to one of the competitors and was saying that while they don't know the exact origin of the attack or how he got hacked, there is a possibility that it did come from Apex. The Apex did get hit themselves. Because even Easy Anti-Cheat said that we weren't hit. But yeah.
I know who hit y'all, but it wasn't me. Well, who was it?
So yeah. Well, I can't wait to see what the postmortem of that looks like. Well, that's it. That's a show.
That's a show, baby.
Kev, what you got going on this week?
Well. Probably slim to none. I'm probably if all goes well, I'm going to be spending time with the guildies this weekend and playing Stardew Valley, because Stardew Valley 1.6 dropped on Tuesday.
I would have played it. Dropped a code in our chat,
and it was like I don't think you remember, Anka, that Major don't rock with this game.
I mean, sure, there was that part, but the fact that you just dropped the code, I had a feeling that's what the code was for.
It's like code,
but yeah, like, she's like, what? Why did you put a random string of characters in here? What is this?
And you were like, "What?"
Major,
and you were, yeah.
Security here compromised. Like Major had a moment.
Like,
yeah,
excuse me.
It was kind of like nani.
What is this?
But
yeah, I told us, like, yeah, like, nah, y'all can chug all the mail you fucking want, man. I'm not going anywhere. And you're like, what? What are you talking about? You ain't like it?
You talk about chugging mail. My God, please.
Did you not see that was apparently a bullet point for this new update? That's all anybody talked about. Was that apparently you can chug mayo? I'm like,
Because that's what Jerry popped up on my stream, was like, y'all, you chugging marrow over here, and I'm like, I ain't nobody.
What is the point of that? Can somebody explain what the fuck the point of that was for?
I don't know what that was for. I think that was like, hey, somebody had asked, can we drink this instead of eat this? Because it's really like somewhat of a liquid. But anyway, I'm not even getting to the logistics of like mayo consumption. But yeah, so me and the home, I played some of that Wednesday. I would have played it Tuesday, but the mech farming game had came out, and I was like, yeah, I really think I should play the mech farming game tonight. So I'd say I played that, then played that. So me and the guildies are going to be playing. We're going to be running a Twitch Black Guild farm.
Watch, this is what causes me to not get in. So he does not like Stardew Valley. You have to deny.
Nah, I don't think that's the case. But yeah, so we're probably gonna be doing that, and then also hopefully there'll be a family Zoom on Sunday night. I say hopefully because they have, like, it has been transferred to me, and I'm like, I need all the information. Nobody's giving me the information, so I don't know where that's gonna go.
Just gonna be on a Zoom with you and your mom, and that's it.
It's probably just either gonna be a Zoom with just me, my mom, my uncle, and maybe like a handful of cousins, and then that's probably gonna be it. Which generally that's generally it.
That sounds good.
That's good. And I mean, if it ain't nothing but just my mama, me, my mom, and my uncle, and whoever my uncle can pull up, yeah, that's fine. I'm fine with that. And then of course watch Abbott and eat some good food and watch Abbott on Palm Sunday, and then figure out what am I gonna do for Easter Sunday meal, because I'm like, do we want to even go out on Easter and do Easter things? Because yeah, so we shall keep that going. But I am gonna be doing less. I'm probably just gonna be sitting back, either way, I'm probably gonna be sitting back, relaxing, playing Vampire. Drop my Steam Deck there. I played Vampire Survivor. I just bought all the DLC. I bought all the DLC, and I have been playing like Legend of the Moonspell, and it's like I'm tapped in. I'm locked in. Once I figured out how to like move my Game Pass save to my the Steam account. Yeah, it was great. It was great, man. I was like, let's go.
I don't know, I like having both of them because like playing it on Steam allowed me to just start from the beginning again.
Yeah, nah, I ain't gonna do that.
And I'm gonna say, look, you gave me you gave, because again, like then I feel like it's getting to a point of diminishing returns for me, right? Where it's like, all right, I am all powerful. I can make it through most of this. I would like to start over at the beginning and try to do that build up again. It's like what you suggested, Froglite to me?
Froglite.
It's like, okay, I'm gonna grind this. I'm gonna say, look, it cost me less than $3. So shout out to me buying a new Steam game in 2024.
See, now you can talk about it.
Right, I can talk about it. Yeah, it is a new game. It's early, but wait, no, it has to come out. Because we didn't do the early access rule, right? So we could talk about early access games.
Oh, yeah, no, well, we could talk. We basically, that was my rule. My rule was like I was playing so many games.
Like it just like I'm saying, like does it have to be a full release or does early access count?
No. That was my rule for my list.
Okay. I don't remember what my rule was. Mine were all full releases, but
I was like, my rule was like only full releases, has to be 1.0. You know,
I think I stuck with that too. Like I think I did stick with that.
It either could be an early access and then come out the year of, or it have to be released 1.0. It can't release this year.
Because Brotato came out in 1.0 in 2023. I think that was on my list.
Because my thing was, it could be, there are some games that are like, this game is good. And then it's like 1.0 and it's like broken. And then people are like, well, you say it was good. I would say it was good at the time. So, so most of the time I'm just like, let me see what the 1.0 looks like first and then go. But what I would say with you, if you played a game in 2023, put it on the list, because we were like, but it was
a little touch and go. But look, I'm gonna say, look, because I figured out a solution to my problem about not being able to play all of my PC games on my Steam Deck. I think I could do something with some Game Pass games that come out that I would like to play.
Right.
But to go back to Froglite,
yes,
there is an option in that game that allows me to reset the save. So I could start over. And it's like, this is the one thing I want Vampire Survivors to have. Just give me a button that lets me restart. Because that's all I want. Like, honestly, like, I can take a leave Froglite. I'm not mad at it because it was less than $3.
Yes.
And like, it's giving me something. But I wish Vampire Survivors had a reset save button that way I could just start playing Vampire Survivors over again. That's really all I want.
I understand.
Maybe if I hit them up and say, look, can y'all just please create that button? I want to relive the joys and the frustrations of having to grind to get to Poe. Right. So I can feel great and build up Poe. That's all I want.
That stinky old man. That garlic scented old man.
But so powerful.
He does have the best early.
He is the best motherfucking character in that game.
He literally kills people by stench alone.
His power, that garlic. I stand with the garlic. My sovereign nation's flag has a garlic on it.
Like I love all the characters, but once I get garlic, I'm like, yes. Garlic will sustain me.
Yes.
Now, Ruin, I'm gonna be 100. I'm gonna keep it abandoned Billy Buck with you. No disrespect, no tea. But if you want to make a game of the year list, go and put Zomboid on that list. That is your list.
I'll post it.
But as far as my list is gonna be no early access games. Thank you, and go on about your business.
Look, we weren't gonna stop you. I'd have posted it.
We won't. Matter of fact, when you want to write articles, Ruin's list. We could even We could even write on the other
How
people's
has this
behalf.
game come out in 2013? This game has been out for over a fucking decade.
Like what game? Zomboid?
Project Zomboid.
Yeah, and it's. I mean, giving the band a buck with you, it looks good. It's a good like game. It also has like, it also has multiplayer on it, but it's just like one of them things. Like, dude, I don't got the time to read and watch the tutorials to get good on this one yet.
It is bundled with fucking Dying Light Definitive Edition.
That's hilarious.
It's like, look, we'll give you a fully featured game and then this early access joint.
That is freaking hilarious.
Yeah, I will show it to you. It is right here. Project Zomboid plus Dying Light Definitive Edition for $63.
That is freaking hilarious. Yes, no. Yes and no.
We'll give you a full feature game and then this demo game that has not seen 1.0 in 10 years.
Yeah, we will give you a long. We will give that to you because yes. Because yes.
A cute tutorial raccoon await the unwary. What else you got going on, Kev?
No, that was it.
Sin, what you got? Now that I'm not begging you to come out of your apartment.
I'm still leaving my apartment. I just got back from a trip, and tomorrow I'm packing for another one because my friend has a birthday. So we're going to take them on a road trip and do the things.
Hooray!
Do the things. We love when people do the things now. Oh yeah.
We're going to go forth and we're going to do the things, and then after going forth and doing the things, we will be back here for a week. And then I am off to magical places to go and see the Boo Thing. And go hang out.
The Boo Thing?
There on vacation.
Let's go Boo Thing.
We're taking flights. We're racking up. We're fighting anxiety every step of the way, but we're taking flights and going places.
I'm gonna ask that you go visit the find the person that people have been looking for. Apparently, they are causing a whole bunch of other people to get clapped up in some weird shit.
Okay.
If you were going to the place I think you're going to, there is one person in particular that everybody apparently is looking for.
Who are they looking for?
I believe I don't want to give it away because it might share where you're going, and I don't want to do that.
Oh, that's because I don't know. The place that I'm going to is rather large, so it's not like people are going to find me specifically. But
okay, rather large. Okay, maybe not. This place I'm thinking of is like smaller than the U.S.
Oh, you know something? I'm pretty sure there are a few people who probably fit the description that you mentioned. So I don't know. We'll just go see if we can collect all of them together.
But yeah. So yeah, go have fun with you wherever you're going. It's great. Do all the things. Let's see. For me, I waited to the end just to say this. Thank you to community member Ruination Ruin for gifting me a copy of Horizon Forbidden West that just launched today on PC.
Mm-hmm.
So I do have a copy of Horizon Forbidden West with the DC with Burning Shores, I think it is.
Yes, Burning Shores, yeah.
Tested it out today on stream. People, if you're playing with a controller, sometimes plugging in a controller after the fact will work when you launch a game on PC. Some games will probably require you to have the controller plugged in before you launch the game. Horizon Forbidden West is one of those games. Sorry, it's something on my teeth. Was trying to craft arrows and spent about a good 10 minutes trying to do that, only to realize that the game was trying to tell me but couldn't because it did not know what assets to load to tell me what button to push. I was able to kind of see that it's telling me I should do something. There's an exclamation point on the screen, but I don't know what that exclamation point is for. I'm just going to ignore it. Only to close the game, about to wrap the stream because my lunch was here. Look it up while I was wrapping up the stream, realizing that I now know what the button is, relaunch the game to try to use the button, and then all of the UI prompts were there. Like, press Y to pick up herbs and shit, which I just figured out on my own because I just started pressing buttons. Or the tooltip it was trying to give me, hold left shoulder button to pull up the weapon wheel, and that will help you craft arrows. So yeah, tooltip, just if you're going to use a controller in your game, plug it in before you launch a game. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't if you do it midway. Just a helpful reminder. That probably explains why I wasn't able to take pictures in photo mode like I wanted to. But again, I don't know. Let's see, outside of that, I know I've got at least one video put up. I'm not entirely sure if I'm going to put up that small. I said I was going to, but I'm not sure because that's just me. So, do I really want to edit a video? Like really edit a video? For Horizon. Also Ruin, seeing as that you gifted me this game, I would like to know, would you like to see it streamed, or am I perfectly cool playing it offline on my Steam Deck, which will probably see it get played faster? Let's see, I've crossed Control off the list of games I'm playing right now because I've decided I'm going to play it on Game Pass, because the Game Pass version has the DLC. The version I own on Steam does not. Outside of that, I've got a women's liberation class I'm going to help out with on Saturday, which reminds me I got to go through the materials to kind of figure out what we're doing.
Oh, that reminds me, I'm taking an ASL class next week.
Okay, dope. Let's see what else is going on. I think that's it. I've got a meeting for my consultant job, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Got games to play, stories to write, potential money to earn.
Booked and busy. Love to see it.
But again, always fighting a good fight to make sure we end capitalism before capitalism ends us. Well, on that note, I'm sorry.
No, this ain't true. That.
Yep. On that note, we're gonna wrap it up. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in to another episode of Tech Talk Thursdays. Of course, you can find this episode and many others over at Spotify Podcasts, majors.house/TTT. You also find it on YouTube. We got a special playlist, majors.house/TTT vid. Of course, if you'd like to reach out to us, TTT@majorshouse.com. There's a lot of TTT.
By TTT for you and me.
Of course, if you're listening to all of these archives, you can watch us live each and every Thursday night, 8 o'clock p.m. over at twitch.tv/MajorLinux. You can join the Discord, majors.house/Discord. Our socials are below, Mastodon only, because fuck that hell site. That I guess that is the one place you can go get paid to be racist. Also, I wanted to write about that Don Lemon shit. I really did, but
Funny as hell.
It was funny.
Funny as hell. Like, yeah.
It's like I want to write about, but it's also me writing about Elmo, and I really don't want to write about Elmo.
Nah, they don't want to get him. No, don't get that.
I think that's it. I think I've plugged all the. Go support us on Patreon. Patreon.com/DeskChairAnalyst. We would like to be a site and podcast that is supported by viewers and listeners and readers like you. So that we don't end up like Gawker Media or Vice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just saying. You have to pay for this independent journalism, baby. But look, we ain't gonna break you over the coals though. Well, yeah, I think that's it. That's it. That's all I got. Again, thank you so much. You all could have been anywhere in the world watching any streaming, or you could have been reading the tech and gaming news yourself, but you said no, thank you. The controller is plugged in. We have the buttons. We have the prompts. Let's press start and let's go on Tech Talk Thursdays. And for that, I say thank you. And all I've got left to say to you, wonderful people, is I love you. In peace.
Wakanda forever.
We'll see all of y'all next week.